Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about my Wioa success story. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. Now, I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. How did I get my schooling paid for? I went through a program called the Wioa program. And Wioa stands for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. I found out about this program when I was unemployed and I was going through my local workforce office, and they make you go to these classes to help you with your resume and to give you other job skills and things like that that will help you on the path to success to finding a more stable job. I was laid off from my employer, so that was how I was able to get into this program, because they have the Wioa Dislocated Worker Program. And that was what I fell under. And this program is available for a lot of different people. It is available for people who have been laid off, for veterans, and for those that have low wage paying jobs that need to get retrained to get into a more stable work field. So I'm going to read a little bit from the website here, and then I'm going to talk about my experiences in the program. Okay, so workforce services for eligible adults are available through one of 6 core programs authorized by Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. The adult program serves individuals and helps employers to meet their workforce needs. It enables workers to obtain good jobs by providing them with job search assistance and training opportunities. WIOA establishes a priority requirement with respect to funds allocated to a local area for adult employment and training activities. American Job Center staff, when using WIOA adult funds to provide individualized career services and training services, must give priority to recipients of public assistance, other low-income individuals, and individuals who are basic skills deficient. Under WIOA, priority must be implemented regardless of the amount of funds available to provide services in the local area. In addition, veterans receive priority service in all DOL-funded employment programs. So if you are in one of these categories and you are wanting to go back to school, this is a really good place to start looking for assistance with that, because going through this program, they really did help me. My case manager, I will love him forever, because he was the one who suggested medical coding to me. I would have never known about it. When I needed help to get back and forth to school, they gave me gas cards. I got that. I don't know if that's the same now, okay? It may be just different, or maybe back then. But that was how I was able to get help. They also put you in touch with the food stamp office and things like that if you need to apply for food stamps. I didn't need to. So, but that was available to me if I needed it. And they also had other programs, if you needed utility assistance to help pay and things like that. Their goal was to keep you in school, keep you in school and try to help in any way that they could. So they have programs to help. And that was amazing, that the fact that they even had all of that stuff. And I didn't know about that. I was just thinking that, I was unemployed and how was I going to get a job and, things like that. So, going to school and having this new path for me and this assistance, it was okay, then I'm going to do my part and I'm going to get through this program and I am going to finish and get my certification, which they helped to pay for. They paid for part of it and I paid for part of it. So that was another really good benefit. And because the certification exams are not cheap. If you look at the websites for either AHIMA, the American Health Information Management Association, or AAPC, the American Academy of Professional Coders, you will see that those programs, the certification exams are not cheap. So this is a very highly intellectual field, and that is why these certification exams are not cheap. But me doing my part, feeling like getting through and getting this money that I would have never have otherwise have thought of, and I didn't have to put any money out of my own pocket to get through the program, right? And like I said, I only paid for part of my certification and they paid for the other part. So I held up my end. I got a job when I was looking. It took me 2 months, but I finally found a job. And I had to go back to the school that I was trained at. And he put me in touch with his friend who who owned a temporary agency that specialized in medical. So they were hiring for medical coders. So I was like, okay, here we go. And that was filler for my resume. So whenever you guys hear me when I say to apply at a temporary agency, every assignment that you go on is going to be filler for your resume. So when you are taking temporary assignments, it's a good thing because you can be put anywhere. Because essentially what's happening when you are going to a temp agency is you become a body to fill a seat. And so depending on what's happening at that place, that's how you can start to make connections, and that's how you can start to learn. And again, put stuff on your resume so that you can start building your resume. And then when you're out in the real world trying to get a job, it's going to look a lot better for you. But this was, very minimal things that I had to do other than just going through the program, getting through school. I had to do check-ins with my case manager at least once a month. And that wasn't bad because he was really nice to me and he was very, very helpful. Him along with my mom were my coaches to get me through. And he encouraged me as much as my mom encouraged me. And that was amazing. I will never forget that. I will never forget that man because he truly did put me on a path to a different life. I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing medical coding, honestly. And about when I did find a job, I had to report that I found a job. And so they were like, okay, so for 1 year afterward, after I got the job, I still had to keep track with the liaison at the workforce office. It wasn't my case manager. It was another lady. And I had to get in touch with her once a month and just tell her how I was doing, if I was still working, how many hours was I working, and did I like it, and if there was anything else that they could help me with, they were willing to put me in touch with those resources that could help me. So that was always nice. It was nice to know that I had that fallback, and they wanted to make sure that they kept track of my progress and make sure that everything was going smoothly for me. Because they have to be able to report these numbers of who's getting jobs and are they able to get jobs and things like that. Medical coding is a challenge to get a job in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. It is. Because of the simple fact that everybody wants you to have experience. But how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you? This is why I tell you guys you have to apply everywhere. And regardless of whether they're asking you for experience or not, you still have to apply. But you got to make your resume look really good. Because all the skills that you learned while you were in school, right? You need to make sure that they are on your resume because that is what their employers are looking for too. If you look in these job listings, it's asking for the candidate to have really good medical terminology, anatomy, and physiology. So if you have that on your resume, that's another point that can be looked at, and that's going to get your resume picked up so that you can be looked at by this employer. If you're not putting those keywords in there of what they're looking for, then it's really easy for your resume to get passed over. And I think a lot of times people don't think about those things when they're putting their resume together. I have seen many resumes. People still insist on sending me resumes, and from before, now I do resume reviews. So I've gotten a little bit less on the resumes because people were just sending them to me randomly. And just not really looking too deep into them because it gives me like a previewer. And I'm like, I think everybody would benefit from having a resume class, honestly, because resume writing should be easy when you're talking about yourself. It is organizing it and putting yourself in the best light that would make you be picked up much more quicker. But that's a little off topic, I know. But I just want to sing the praises of this program. I wouldn't have what I have now. I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've been through in the past decade where I've gotten to travel. I have been financially stable in over the last decade as well. I have been always financially stable, but my job is steady, so that is the difference there, and it pays well, and I've been able to get nice things and go places, like I said, and go to conference, when they do have conference once a year, although I didn't go this year because it was virtual. And so we'll see if I go next year. Hopefully the pandemic will be more under control. The pandemic has really opened up the idea for people to go back to school. And so the struggle becomes of, how do I pay for this? And that's why I want to share this information about this program, because it helped me. And this is something I will always be grateful for. And you can also go and study on your own. I have done a whole video where I outlined 12 months of what you have to study. And at the end of that 12 months, you should be ready after all that independent study to take your certification exam. So you don't even have to go through a program. You don't even have to go through the associations themselves or an online school. You don't have to do any of that. You can study it all on your own. That is the weird thing about medical coding, is that it's like that. You can study on your own, you get your certification, and boom. Or you can go through a program. Now, I've seen people pay the entire cost of a brand new car or a down payment on a house to get through a medical coding program. That is a lot of money, guys, when there's alternatives to be able to get training, which is going through a program like this if you fall into the eligibility requirements for it, or independent study. And if you are doing independent study, sometimes it is just the same as you would be if you were going to a trade school online, because a lot of times it is going to be self-paced. It is basically a lot of reading, and you're watching videos. You can do that on your own for free. You can get, I list all the books that I recommend, and I went for the cheapest possible books that I could recommend to you guys, because if you are unemployed and you're trying to train yourself on a new career, yeah, you're going to want to get the cheapest possible books. But I know it's still like a financial burden for some, but that's the best I can do, right? I'm just trying to help you guys out with this information. So, like I said, this is a really good program, and if you get through it, if you're lucky enough to get into it and get through it, you're incredibly blessed, because you have just been gifted an entire career. It's up to you to make sure that you get your first job and to discover it in ways that will help you to enjoy it as well. And a lot of times people will say to me, I can really tell that you love what you do. Yes, but I didn't get like this overnight. This was something that I had an aha moment in 2014 when this happened. When I realized that I really love this. And it was just the thought of the fact that I went through this program, and I was able to be given this, and I had done my part to discover more about it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And then just learning more. And it's like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I have felt like that since 2014. So that's pretty good, right? A lot of people sometimes struggle with that feeling, right? Because like people will go through their lives in a job that they don't particularly enjoy, and they say, well, I want to do this, or I wish I would have done that. And sometimes people say, well, I had heard about medical coding years ago and I really wanted to do it, but I just never did it. And I really wish I would have done it because I hate my job, or I hate this, or I hate that. We get one rodeo, folks. And when you spend your life like that, you should enjoy your work. You should enjoy what you do, and before anybody says, well, I enjoy my family. I get it. Yes, enjoy your family, but your family should see you happy with what you do too, with what you're doing in your career as well. Because you hear that from people that, they watch their parents, and their parents either loved what they did, they enjoyed, and it makes the person much more happier. And what happens when you're around happy people? It's a joy. When you're around people who are frustrated and miserable and they don't like what they do and they feel very frustrated and they can't grow and they don't have something to intellectually stimulate them, the personality is just so, so it's like, to me, it's like, well, if you feel like you're ready and if you feel like it's time, then go for a program, and try to get into something like this, or try to do independent study and see if that will help you. But I just hope that this reaches somebody like it reached me, because when I found out about this, I told people and anybody that would listen how I got through this program. Because when people heard that I was studying for medical billing and coding, they were like, wow, how did you get into that? And I told them about the program. So, and now I'm telling you all on my YouTube channel about this program. So if you found value in this, I hope that you will share this video so that it can touch somebody else. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But I guess in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I am thankful for this. I am a heart full of grateful, as I like to say on my Instagram. And you can find me on Instagram at MEDICALCODINGWITHBLEU. But I am a heart full of grateful. I'm a heart full of grateful for this program, for the career field of medical coding, for my channel, for my viewers who are awesome, who watch me and who watch my videos. And I love when I hear people have been binge watching. I love that. That touches me so much. And I am, again, so grateful. I am a heart full of grateful for that. But yes, so this field is a lot of work. Medical billing and coding is a lot of work, but it is rewarding. And I said it once and I'll say it again. It is amazing. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know I will see y'all again on Monday. Have a good Turkey Day and a good Black Friday, and I will see y'all again on Monday. So if you're a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!